This is one of our destinations today. It's a peak in the Chiricahua Mountains. In fact, it's the highest peak in the Chiricahua Mountains. A lot of great gems on this trail. Join us as we explore and discover all the gems on this trail in the Chiricahua Mountains. You can get to this trailhead from the east or the west side of the Chiricahua Mountains. This is a picture of the meadow that we drive through on the way to the trailhead. This is actually a before and after picture. The before pictures were 25 years ago, and since then there's been 2 fires, the latest 11 years ago, so quite a difference. After passing through this meadow, we have a 2-mile road that we drive on. There's 3 spots on the road where you'll probably need 4-wheel drive. Other than that, it's fine for just about any truck. The park sits at 8,800 feet, the trailhead at 92. Welcome to Hidden Gems of Nature. We're in the parking lot. It's just a turnaround spot up here on top of the mountains. Noah will pan around so you can see where we're parked. We're up on top of a saddle. We're sitting at about 9,200 feet. And then we're going to hike to one of the highest peaks in the Chiricahua Mountains and see a couple of other great gems along the way. Join us as we explore and discover all the gems on this trail in the Chiricahua Mountains. Got some aspens just starting to leaf out. It's the 17th of May. Fortunately, it's been a little bit longer winter, so we've had a little bit more moisture up here, but the trees at this altitude are just barely starting to leaf out. Our elevation gain on this hike is only about 500 feet. We start at 92, we peak just under 9,700. So this 3-mile hike is relatively easy. The spur trail hikes were probably more difficult than the hike itself. There weren't a lot of flowers on this hike, but I did take a picture of a few of the flowers. We even got a few pine cones that were just starting out, some new growth pine cones, but not a lot of flowers this early in the year. A lot of animal sign on this hike, mostly turkey sign, whether it was tracks or scat, it was all over the place. We did see this hawk as well, which was kind of nice. We've actually hiked less than a mile. That's our back trail, looking back down that canyon. But there's a saddle right next to the trail. As I pan across these aspen trees, I'll pan to the west so you can see what it looks like to the west from this saddle in the Chiricahuas. There we go. Looking down towards Wilcox. So you come to this intersection, we're just gonna go straight through this intersection. This is a peak hike to the left, and it's back to another park or meadow to the right. We're gonna go straight through. As we hike along the mountain, you can see just how steep the Chiricahuas are. Looking to the left of the trail or the right of the trail. As we're hiking down the trail, you can see this aspen grove we're going through. It's a burnout area. Of course, aspen grow quickly and come in before the evergreens do. They're the first thing that grows after a fire up in these high elevations. Pretty cool. So I decided to do a little bushwhacking. There's a spring down here in the bottom with no trail to it. So I want to see if I can find it. Let's see what we can do here. Maybe we will, maybe we won't. So this is my back trail, just kind of came through bushwhacking. You can see how dense it is down here with this new growth aspen. And then here we go. Cross country and down in here to see if I can find it. And there it is, the spring. That's the spring. It's like the Forest Service found it before us. In fact, that's where I found this spring, was on a old USGS map. I didn't find it on the new maps that you have. It looks like they took advantage of the spring and had an old water trough down here. Their livestock. Pretty cool. Wow. Old relics that you have in here are cool. There's the spring. It's still a little early in the year, but you can see how there's a lot of plant life that comes up down here where the spring flows out. Kind of lush right down here by the spring and by the trough. Really pretty down here. But it is very isolated. There is no trail in and there is no trail out. I was hoping to find a trail out based on the old maps that I had looked at. This is another park or meadow along the trail. As you can see, we're still a little early for the green grass. There's a little bit coming through, but most of it is still dormant. There's still some patches of snow on some of the northern slopes. The peak over my right shoulder is the trail intersection we just passed, and you can actually hike up to that peak if you'd like. We chose not to. There's a trail that intersects our trail that goes over my left shoulder and drops down into the canyon behind me. There's very few flat spots in these mountains. We'll turn here. We're going to do a little side hike down a side trail to go see some more gems. This spur trail is only about a quarter mile long, but it is relatively steep. We're heading down this side trail, and this is actually what we came to see. It's an old line shack from the Forest Service. So I guess this is what happens when a tree falls on your house. The branches go through the roof, huh? After going down the spur trail, we're headed back on the main trail towards our final destination. That peak that you're looking at is the final destination, so we should be there in just a few minutes. There's Noah standing at the peak marker. There's the peak marker. Evidently this is a popular place for turkey. A lot of turkey sign around this peak. So we've reached our destination. One of our destinations anywhere for the day. It's been a great hike today. We've passed a lot of gems on this trail. Noah's panning the top of this peak. You can see all the conifers up here on the top, as well as all the stands of aspens that we've come through because of all the fires that have been up here. Great hike. Hope you guys enjoy this hike in the Chiricahua Mountains.